Okay, so super exciting. Definitely wanted to do a supplemental log on this one, even though there's only one sleep phase left. In the in day, have to check day six, right? Okay, there's only one sleep phase left in day six, but what happened was so exciting. I have to definitely report on it because there's so much I have to say. Um, just a lot. This is just great. Um, okay, let's. How do I break it down? Well, let's see. I guess the first thing is not like the greatest thing or anything, but obviously, but the first phase of day six, I did not get to sleep. Same thing that happened in the first phase of day five, okay, which looks like it's a pattern or something, but I don't know. I don't think it is, okay, but it looks like it, because actually on day two didn't get any sleep in the 3 a.m. on that day either. So there's actually three of them. So maybe it is some sort of a pattern, and I'm definitely going to be watching that closely because whoa, what's that about the 3 a.m. phase? There's so far been nothing good about it. No, but anyway, I like it though. It's my favorite phase, 3 a.m. I'm like, yay, new day, you know. But anyway, okay, so there's that. All right. The next thing that came up was the 3 p.m. phase. Okay. Um, and I've started tracking now on my charting the euphoric states, okay, the euphoric phases, like because there is a phenomenon which I've experienced in every time I've tried polyphasic sleeping, which is now 3 times. Okay, there is a phenomenon that I achieved all 3 times, even when I was well, not so much when I was sick because the sickness, but I did. Even before I got sick, I had the euphoria before that. Okay, because there is a phenomenon of polyphasic sleeping. Okay, it is a polyphasic euphoria. And again, my theories for why this is because of how closely we are associated with delta sleep and high levels of consciousness of REM sleep. Okay, because in the normal sleep cycle, monophasic sleep cycle, which is probably isn't normal, but anyway, that's another thing. Um, in that sleep cycle, your it doesn't have to happen, but generally speaking, your consciousness is going to degrade over the night. You get you get. Yes, it's supposed to be the opposite. I think the way the cycle is set up is so that your consciousness is supposed to improve. Okay, but there are certain things about it. It doesn't. First of all, it doesn't have to improve. Okay. Secondly, each successive REM sleep phase that you have, it is farther and farther away from delta sleep, which I think delta sleep is a key to high level states of consciousness. And I just I think it's a key to the euphoria that we experience from polyphasic sleeping, because the delta sleep stops after a while. It stops. You don't go back to it. You just start going in successive REM cycles, and then so that's what you've done. You no longer are associated with delta sleep. Now you're just doing like REM and NREM, and you're just like going in a cycle doing your dreaming. And so so I don't know, but that's just where my head is at on that right now. So, and I'm not a scientist either, so nor have I done like exhaustive, in-depth studies about all of this either. So it's just a theory that I have for the euphoria, because delta sleep is right next to a REM cycle, and then we leave, and bam, you got the highest state of consciousness right there. You have delta sleep, you have a REM cycle that's right next to it, and oftentimes because of that you're going to have an elevated state of consciousness, and then you get to capture and reap the benefits of it because you exit sleep immediately, and bam, it was an experience that you just had, and guess what, it stays with you. You get credit for it. And it lasts the rest of the day, the phase. Okay, and it it's a springboard. It's more likely to create another state of euphoria for your next phase. which is something else I wanted to talk about. But and I'll be giving an example of this in just a sec, which is why I made really good progress on day 6. Really good, a great sign for great progress. Okay. But as an example also of this chaining of states of consciousness, where when you get a high state of consciousness, it's more likely to produce another. That also occurs in lucid dreaming. That Stephen LaBerge, the author of the book Lucid Dreaming, discovered this and mentions this in his book. Because you get a lucid dream, and then because of that highest state of consciousness, I mean that is the highest state of consciousness in dreaming is lucid dreaming. Okay, and then you can expand that out, because there's grades of lucid dreaming. Okay, so just like there's grades of Kundalini awareness, also same thing. And so anyway, you get that highest state of consciousness. Then you may not have manifested the highest value out of it, but it still is the highest state of consciousness, even at its least manifestation, because you are yoking, you're moving, you're putting together your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, and by declaring it to be a dream, and bam, you know. So um, you get credit for that, and then that because you had that experience, that higher state of consciousness, it's going to go with you into your next REM sleep, because generally speaking, lucid dreaming is experienced at the end of the, like hours, 6, 7, 8, is where you're going to be getting your most of the chances of getting a lucid dream. And most lucid dreamers that's when they experience their lucid dreams, is in that at the end, when you're rich with dreams to drop into. And but anyway, so that higher state of consciousness goes into the next dream, and so then you're more likely to become lucid, because you're at a higher state of consciousness. Your conscious mind is more aware, um, you know, and that's why. Same thing with polyphasic sleeping. You're more likely, because you're in an elevated euphoric state of consciousness. Um, you are more likely to have another one because of that. So, and this is actually what happened in day 6, because not only did I have a documented, oh, I'm documenting it now. I mean, I had a euphoric state of consciousness where I just felt great. I mean, I just felt great, and it bore fruit in more work. Actually today I outworked myself in my waking work performance. Not every performance I've ever done, okay, but in a lot of I've outworked myself in a lot of times, over and above the normal monophasic work that I was doing, on this day, because of the higher energy, the increased energy, allows me to do it, euphoric energy. And so, okay, so then I had that higher state of consciousness. I went back to sleep. Now I was concerned. This was a really important part. This is like a crossroads right here. That was the 3 p.m. phase that I had the polyphasic euphoria. Okay, and then in the then I went to sleep for the 7 p.m. Okay, and I was really concerned because I felt so good. I was like, man, I've got this polyphasic euphoria going. Okay, and um, is it going to interfere with me being able to get to sleep? See, because a sign of adaptation will be that it will not interfere. And not only did it not interfere, it actually outperformed my expectations. Because at the 7 p.m., I had a false awakening dream. False awakening dreams are also associated with lucid dreaming. So, false awakening dreams are higher states of consciousness. And what the dream was about, I woke up and started analyzing and discussing my sleep phase. I mean, it's perfect. You know what I mean? I woke up and I was looking. I started charting my sleep phase, and then thinking about it and discussing it with someone. And so and but the, and then that was actually dreaming. I had thought that I actually had awakened and I was awake. Okay, but actually I was still asleep, and then I actually really woke up, and so that is awesome. That is awesome. Not only, and I feel great. I still have the polyphasic euphoria going. Only thing that interfered with it, and it didn't eclipse it in any way. I mean, there's nothing that it just nothing eclipsed it, but I started to get a little bit hungry while I was working, and I just ate a piece of bread and it was fine. I mean, it went away. That hunger went away, and um, so yeah, it lasts. It's strong, and it's a state of euphoria associated with polyphasic sleeping. Because I had why? Because I had a high level of consciousness dream that I awoken from, capturing all the fruits of it. Because I awoken immediately after that and started my day, bam, at a higher level of consciousness. Okay, can't beat that, man. You're talking about precision. You're talking about efficiency. You're talking about this is like Formula One racing, man. I mean, this is versus driving around in a VW Bug. I mean, so anyway, I mean, I've made these comparisons before in other reports for other attempts, but it's clearly the case. Um, okay, and so now what was there was some other points. Well, I've started tracking this euphoria, okay, because I think that it's important to start tracking when the euphoric phases are. When you have that polyphasic euphoria, when did that phase occur? Track that versus the other ones, versus the dreams. Like, okay, because like if you have a vivid REM dream, that's a higher state of consciousness, so that's automatically a purple. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing purple as the euphoric state. Okay. Um, but anyway, I'm tracking it now, and now I had two of them in a row. That's the beauty of it. I mean, day six, the 3 p.m. and the 7 p.m. phase, they're both higher state levels, states of consciousness, polyphasic euphoria. Um, so, and then I want to watch, I want to see if I'm able to go to sleep at the 11 p.m., which is in about 45 minutes, um, and see if I can see what happens. I mean, I want to get at least a green. A green is just a successful falling of asleep. I mean, that's at least I want to get that. But man, you know, and I wonder when you're adapted. I wonder how many of these higher states of consciousness you get in a day. How many is normal to get? And do they get chained together? Does it become all of them? I mean, where is the what is it? Um, so very, and again, I think this is a very strong sign of actual adaptation, if you will, whatever. I'll have to look up if there's such a word as adaptation, and if there isn't, I'm never going to use it again. Um, Adaptation for sure is a word. Um, and so, yeah. Oh, and the reason why it's a sign of adaptation is because I did fall asleep, and not only that, I produced a high level of consciousness dream, a rare high level of consciousness dream. Um, so that is a sign that my mind is definitely kicking in, because regardless of the high level of energy that I had from the previous phase, which I also had euphoria from, um, I still was able to be successful in going to sleep. Number one, and then number two, producing this high level dream. So it's a really good sign, and I'm going to start tracking the euphoria. My first tracked euphoria is day four, um, and um, yeah, you can tell when you have the euphoria because you feel better than any time that you ever felt before while you were attempting. But then also you know that you're feeling better than you feel in monophasic sleeping, without a doubt. You feel better. I mean, you just have this energy that's just like, and there's no boogeyman. There's no, when you have euphoria, there's no boogeyman. There's no sleep deprivation. There's nothing. You just have this great energy. You just feel great, and you can do whatever you want, without impediment. So it's pretty cool. Um, and all right, so that's pretty much all I need to say, really. I don't need to go into great detail or anything, but that's really good sign. Looking forward to it. And this is probably what my attempt would have looked like. Maybe, I don't know, if I didn't get sick on that second time that I tried it. Um, yeah, this is the, right in here, starting on day four, the Euphoria started. Vivid REM Dream started on day four, followed by Euphoria. And then on day six, two Euphoria, another high level consciousness dream, and there's still one phase left. So this will be a day six supplemental update, and if there is something that I need to report about that 11 p.m. phase, then I will do an actual day six update. It'll just be day six, and otherwise, the next update is going to be day seven, unless there is something super important to report. So, okay, um, this is great. Have a wonderful day. See you on the flip flop.